left field. It's deep. It's gone. And it is gone. Yes. It is bedlam at the bank. Look at the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way back to me. It is safe and slammed up. And the doctor made a sensational play. In front, the front, and they score! And Giroux's got it. Weston fires. Weston scores! Brady back again. He's got to be 10 and goes forward. And he fumbles the football and the Eagles have it.
We welcome you to the Philly Sports Hour on this beautiful Saturday. It's not so beautiful out today. I don't know, my camera's all messed up here. Yeah, that'll do it for now. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to talk some Phils. We are less than, I don't know what's going on here. What the? We are less than 1 week away, from Phillies baseball, and we have a very special guest from Fox Sports, the Gambler, Luke Arcaini. Luke, welcome to the show. How are we on this rainy Saturday?
Good, we're doing great. We got 5 days till opening day. Baseball's almost back. I think we got 2 more spring training games, something like that, maybe 3. But they head back Monday, so we're almost at the end of spring training here. So it's always nice once you get to the end of spring training.
Yeah, it's starting to become a little bit of a struggle. Some injuries that we're gonna get to. Some guys struggling and a little debate out in center field. So we have a lot to get through. A lot happened this week in Philly sports. A lot going on with the beginning of the Philly season, and we're gonna start it up with what is coming up in 5 days. Opening day. Will you be at opening day, Luke? First of all,
opening day. I'm working on that right now. We have some plans. We're maybe doing some live show type of thing. That's still kind of in the works, last minute thing. But I will definitely be there Saturday. Have tickets for Saturday, so I'll be at the second game. But still working on Thursday. Maybe that's just gonna probably end up being like last minute.
I will
wake up that morning and be like, I'll go.
I will be in the building on opening day. I'm very excited. I think it's the third straight year I'll be at opening day, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I went the last 2 years, or I went the home opener last year, and then I went opening day versus the A's the year before.
Yeah, the best part about opening day is when the weather is nice, and it's supposed to be really nice last 2 years.
7 and sunny I think it's supposed to be nice. Maybe I was looking at our game Saturday.
I think it's going to be 50s and cloudy, which is kind of typical. Oh, it's rain now? That's not good.
Oh, no.
Well, last year it was supposed to rain on opening day, and they changed it. They moved it back to Friday.
So right now, Thursday says cloudy and a high of 60. So
that's not terrible.
We're good as of now.
That's not bad for opening day. But I mean, it's never going to be as good as it was 2022, 70s and sunny.
Nope.
Kyle Schwarber, first at bat, homer, fanatic dives in from the sky.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was good stuff. All right, let's get to opening day 2024, where it'll be Zach Wheeler against Spencer Strider. A little bit of a controversy of who was going to start opening day for the Phillies between Wheeler and Nola. They go with Wheeler. Is this the right decision? Is this the wrong decision, or does it really not matter?
I didn't really have an issue with it. I think Nola was pretty adamant that I think he even wanted Wheeler to do it. It seems like Nola thought that Wheeler was the one that deserved it now. I think now that he's locked up that long-term deal, at least for Wheeler. And I think they had a little bit of the worry about the baby. I don't think they really knew 100% when the baby was coming. So I don't really think they wanted to make any big plans like that. So, I mean, I'll always love the Nola streak, but I think it's cool Wheeler's out there because realistically you want your best arm out there opening day. And I mean, that's Zach Wheeler. So,
yeah, at this point it has become Wheeler is the ace of the team. But when you have these good runs, I like tradition. I'm a big traditionalist. I like when things are kind of like go the same deal. And I would have loved to see Nola maybe go all these 7 years is starting on opening day, because you saw when the Phillies were great in the 70s and 80s, Steve Carlton started every single opening day. You you look at when the Phillies were good in the early 2000s, Cole Hamels started every opening day until Roy Halladay came in, of course. Well, that's a different story. It's Roy Halladay. But I would have loved to see Nola kind of be the face to start this run and these great seasons that the Phillies had. But at the end of the day, does the opening day starter really matter in the end? Like,
Not
the
at all.
whole goal is to win the World Series, so who really
Not at all.
cares?
And realistically, now you don't have to shuffle because in years past, their rotation throughout the season has ran with basically Nola first, because he started opening day. So now it's nice that they can kind of have their rotation how they like it with Wheeler first. It is kind of funny though, because if Aaron Nola would have started every opening day for the rest of his contract, he would have beat the Robin Roberts record of 12. He had his Nola's right now is 6, and that would have put him at, if he didn't miss one, that would have had him up at like 13 in a row. Which
That would have been awesome.
nuts, but
Could have had a bar mitzvah for the streak. But the Phillies will be facing a familiar face. I'm warming my vocal cords up right now. Spencer Strider. The Braves are 0-3 when Strider is on the mound in the postseason the last 2 years, with a 5.40 ERA. All 3 have come against the Phillies. 2 of those at Citizens Bank Park. And maybe a reason he is bad at the bank is because of these videos.
Do you have any hot sports takes?
Any hot sports takes? Absolutely, there should be no fans. 2020 season, no fans. Get rid of the fans. It's too loud.
Too loud?
It's too loud. Everybody be quiet. We don't need the cheering. We know you're watching. I don't need the fans. You stay outside the stadium. Back it up. Let's do like a no lower bowl thing.
No lower
You know,
bowl, okay.
just kind of.
So you just get
Yeah,
fans
upper
like
deck's
that.
great. Upper deck's great. Outfield, phenomenal.
But
We don't need you around the dugouts.
All right.
Just try and be quiet.
So I'm looking forward to doing that on opening day. I was at the game 3 of the NLDS. I think my section was part of the guys that started the Strider. I was up in 301 with the pandemic crew. I mean, it's gonna be fun.
it's electric there, man. Every time that dude steps on the mound, it's just, and honestly, like, I will say, like, I know that comment came out like with that from the World Baseball Classic or wherever that was. But I actually kind of did gain a little respect for him because after they lost last year, he kind of came out and he was like, yeah, like, it's no joke. He did admit, like, he was like, this place is no joke.
Yeah.
And he's kind of bought into it. Like, it's turned into a cool rivalry that's not like I don't like him obviously because he's a Brave, but if he was on any other team, I think I
He'd
would
be
have
awesome.
a problem with him. He'd be awesome. Like he's disgusting. He's just
Mhm.
I mean, and the funny part is you bring up the postseason. If you look at the regular season,
Oh,
he's
he
8-0
dominates us.
with
Yeah.
a 1.9 ERA and 72 strikeouts in 8 games.
It's like,
He
forget
averages around 9 strikeouts per game against us. Like
it.
he
It's like
destroys us in the regular season.
the regular season Strider. There's not much like it in the MLB, but
No.
when you get to that postseason, he always faces the Phillies, and the Phillies always smash him. But it is interesting the difference from October to summer. Is Strider just not built for the moment, or do the Phillies just turn on another level and say, all right, we're going to decide to hit him now?
I don't see. I think it's more the Phillies because he didn't pitch like that bad in that playoff game against us. Like, he obviously let up the home run, but like he didn't throw like that bad of a game. He had us for those first few innings. I don't know. I think it's just the Phillies. Every time they get there, they just turn up. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, they just kind of get to the playoffs, and then like they're just such a, like, once they get there, they just roll off the vibes type of team. Like, they just, and it's fine. Eventually, that may haunt them a little bit because you like the vibes can get you there, but you need the overall skill and like to win the whole thing. And I think they have it. But I don't think they'll take it that different approach this year. I mean, I know that they have to get off to a hotter start, but I don't think they're really worried heading into open. They're just like so. And the thing I've always thought about them is they're just very like nonchalant. Like they're like they never get worked up. Like they're always just like, all right, like whatever. Like we'll go out and win, and then tomorrow we'll lose 9-1. And then we'll come back the next day and we'll hit 5 home runs with like 12 hits. Like they're just like,
it's
I
the
think
Phillies.
they understand how long the season is. And it's hard to get worked up in baseball. Like you don't have the time to get worked up because by the time you get home from the game, you have to be thinking about tomorrow's game. Like it's just an everyday grind for 6 months. Like you have to leave games like that in the past.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies are very nonchalant now that you picked it up.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, it is what it is.
The most nonchalant of them all.
It's so funny. So yeah, Wheeler Strider, it's gonna be fun. Really good pitching matchup. If you were excited for opening day, I mean, now you're getting two of the best pitchers in the MLB going up against each other. Something that's not great for the Phillies, excuse me, is Taijuan Walker, who has been absolutely horrendous in spring. He had a little bit of a knee injury to start the spring, and he came back, and he's thrown 4.2 innings, and he has a 15.43 ERA with a 2.36 WHIP. And it was really bad on Wednesday. 2.2 innings, 5 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 3 home runs. I mean, that's a high school stat line. I mean, that's like when I used to umpire 11U. That's what we were looking at there.
Yeah.
His velocity's down a lot. It was 94, 96 last year. Now he's at 88, 91. I mean, what is the issue with Taijuan Walker? Can it be fixed? Or should the Phillies make a move and maybe get Jordan Montgomery before the season starts with Walker's struggles?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's likely anymore. I don't see the Phillies signing a big free agent like 4 days before the season starts. I just don't think that's kind of how they are. Like I think they'd kind of rather roll with what they have right now. And signing a Jordan Montgomery would have to require you doing something to Taijuan Walker before the season starts, because you can't just like leave him on your bench. You either have to trade him, you have to cut him, like you have to find somebody that's willing to take that trade. And I will say, I don't think that contract is as bad around the league as it is here. I think there's teams that would take 155 innings a year for 18 million. I sure wouldn't anymore. But yeah, I mean, like you said, his fastball last year averaged 93. It got up to 94, 95 here and there. I don't think it got past 91 in his last start. That's concerning. I mean, I know he's only pitched like 4 innings this spring. He was sick. He was dealing with the injury. But I just don't I don't see it getting any better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And can you afford that? Not really. As long as Sanchez is the Sanchez of last year, I think you can get away with it. I am curious who will start that 4th game, because the Phillies obviously have the Braves for 3, but I think there's a decision there that they could maybe consider Sanchez being the 4. That's what I would do. I don't know if that's what the Phillies would do. So they obviously open up with Atlanta, but then they go they're home against Cincinnati. So Wheeler, I don't know where Ben went, but I'm going to keep going. Wheeler, Nola, Suarez, obviously to start. But Walker right now is technically slated, they said, to go April 1st versus Cincinnati. I would love to see Sanchez out there. I don't think that's what they're going to do, but it seems like it's probably going to be Walker. But if it was up to me, April 1st, game 4, that would be Christopher Sanchez for me.
Maybe they want to have Sanchez on BOGO night on that Tuesday.
Oh, maybe.
I think that's a BOGO.
Is that night?
I think that's the first one.
I think it is, yeah.
Because it's always like that first or that second week, that first week series
Yeah. BOGO night.
When I had Alex Carr on when the news first broke, I've never heard him. I've known Alex Carr for a while and never heard him that animate about anything. he went off on the book on it. It was good.
Passionate about his dogs.
I don't blame him.
I was the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I've never experienced the Dollar Dog Night. I've never been in the building, but I know how
I've been
much.
in one. They're fun.
I know how much it means to the city, how much it means to the fans. I know the lore behind it, and how much money are they making? Like they're selling $60,000.
Yeah, they've done like 60,000 hot dogs before, something like that.
Like no one's gonna buy 30,000 hot dogs, or it's gonna have to. Yeah, I guess 30,000 hot dogs. Like I don't know. I don't. We can't get into this. We got more important things to talk about than hot dogs. If that's our biggest problem this year, we're in pretty good shape. Something that is kind of concerning is Bryce Harper. Harper was experiencing back stiffness, hasn't played all week. He is playing first base against the Yankees today, Saturday the 23rd, which is good. Harper got 7 at-bats on the backfield on Friday. He hit an Oppo Taco and beat out an infield single. He was happy to see some velocity and will play first base today in Tampa against the Yankees. My issue is could this linger throughout the season? Is this something to be worried about? Or is it Bryce Harper and he's a superhuman and he's gonna go off and win the MVP this year with a bad back?
I think it's a little bit of both, actually. Yeah, so I do think it's a little more serious than he's making it. I don't think it's anything like to really like worry about. I think it's gonna just happen with age. I mean, he's been playing baseball since he was like 6. He's been on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was 15. He's been playing competitive baseball for over 15 years now. I think the back's gonna linger. I don't think it's something crazy to worry about. I think the reason you're seeing Bohm there the last few games is I think that there's going to be times, I think, throughout the first month maybe where Harper's going to DH. I think you're going to get Schwarber out and left here and there. I think they're going to try and maybe get Harper off of his legs like once a week, just to kind of not really like toss him out into like the gauntlet of just playing first base every single day after that injury. So I think you can maybe see like the Alec Bohm at first, Harper DH, left field Schwarber, like maybe once a week type of thing. But I don't really think it's anything to worry about. I mean, he looked okay in that where were they at yesterday? They were on that like mini.
They were on
field,
they were on the. I forget what they call it, but it's behind the.
Yeah, they were on the mini field. He looked fine yesterday. He looked completely normal. Like everything looked fine. I think he hit a homer. So there's no real worry there for me. I think as long as they monitor it, I don't want him out there playing first base for the next 150 games. Like I think there needs to be at least one day a week where he's the DH, or maybe every 10, 11, 12 games, maybe give him a day off. Like just for the first month, like give him maybe like 4 days off in April, maybe like once a week type of thing, just to kind of make sure he's okay.
I'm right. I can get on board with that, but what I'm looking at that is worrying me a little bit. No homers, no ribbies, 227, 346, 916 slash, and he's 5 for 22 this spring. He's never gone a spring without a home run. That's kind of worrying me a little bit.
Yeah, it is and it isn't for me. I mean, you look at no home runs, but then you also look at how many games did he play? He played 9. So like, I don't know. I try so hard not to buy into the spring stuff. It's just like I'm gonna sit here and buy into the spring stuff and watch Kyle Schwarber hit what? Where's he at right now?
07.
He's at 121 with what? What does he have? 4 hits and 33 at bats, and then he's going to go out and hit like 40 homers this year. So like that's why I can't really like I can't dig heavy into this. As long as he's okay to start the season, I think he's just going to be normal Bryce. Like I I think once you take Harper away from Clearwater, Florida, against like third strings that are barely going to crack the minor league roster, to facing Spencer Strider, Max Fried, the first series of the year, like I think just like once they get up there, it's just a completely like flip of the switch. Like
Yeah, he doesn't like the warm, nice Clearwater weather. He likes the
he
cold,
likes the
cloudy
cold,
Philadelphia.
windy, rainy Philly.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah, but something I do love a lot that never gives me any problems is SeatGeek. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring the show. SeatGeek is the easiest and most efficient way to buy your tickets. Each seat is given a green, red, or yellow dot indicating whether purchasing that ticket would be a good, bad, or fair deal. And there's a lot coming up in Philadelphia. And when I say a lot, I say a lot. WrestleMania is coming in just a few weeks. Opening day is literally 5 days away. The Sixers and Flyers are currently in the middle of a playoff run. Like, it's absurd what's going on, how the Sixers don't have a spot locked up and how the Flyers are proceededly starting to choke this playoff lead away. But they need you to be in the building. As well as that, they have concert tickets, they have comedy shows, they literally have everything. So go to SeatGeek and use code Philly Sports Report. Again, that's Philly Sports Report to save $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. PhillysSportsReport, no spaces. And you'll save $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Click the link in the description or bio to save. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring. And Luke will be using SeatGeek this week to get his opening day tickets. And he will use code Philly
it's going to be
Report.
like a Tuesday or like a Thursday at like 9:30 purchase where I wake up and it's like,
all right, yeah, let's do it.
I gotta go. I
gotta do it. It's gonna be fun. I'm interested to see what they do. 20 years at the bank, to see if there's anything. Oh, that's what I want. So, yeah, Citizens Bank Park, 20th anniversary, kind of absurd. What's your favorite memory of the bank?
Me and my brother. My first time ever going to a Phillies playoff game was NLDS Game 3 2022.
Mm-hmm.
First playoff game back at Citizens Bank since 2011. I got to see that, Reese, and it was literally the best thing I've ever seen with my two. Like, I'll never forget it. Anytime somebody asks me about it, I always tell them the same story. Mm-hmm. We were standing up already because the inning was going, the walkout.
I think I stood that entire game. I don't
Marsh
think I
got on. JT was up. JT got on base, right? Or whoever it was.
Or Schwarber before Reese.
Schwarber. And Reese hit it. And like, all I remember is watching him like put the bat up. And then the second he spiked it, I don't remember a single thing after. Like, it was just like, I'm like, we're like jumping into people's arms. Like, we don't even know. Like, oh, I mean, it was insane. Like that was no doubt. I will say underrated one, last home opener from last year, the walk-off from Stott. That place was loud.
That was awesome.
That place was really loud. That was a cool one.
Well, because you had the whole Castellanos thing where he was doing that funky little lead. That just kind of elevated the moment, and Stott came through.
It was unreal. There's been some good ones, though.
Yeah, especially the last 2 years, there've been some good. I was at that Game 3 in the NLDS as well. My first playoff game, my first playoff series period for the Phillies. I never got to experience the early 2010 Phillies.
I didn't. So, I mean, I did. I didn't really get to go. I remember watching it, but I wasn't really at any of them.
Yeah. So we left for a 3:00 game at about 11 o'clock. We live about 30 minutes away from the stadium. So we were there all day. We got in walked in with Waldo as soon as the gates opened, and we were up in like 3:06. Yeah. So of course I had to get a good camera shot for the pregame introduction. So we stood behind the dugout, like all the way up, for about 3 hours. And we got to go see my good friend John Middleton, who I met before. I sat in his suite before a couple games before that season, and we were just like, thank you, like, for this. Like, this is awesome. So And then we stood there, and then we went up to our seats, and I just remember walking through the tunnel in 306 and just this wave, because I walk up and they're showing like the pregame video. The wave of the crowd just hitting me. An underrated moment from that game, though, is the initial Stott double. That was
best. Dude,
I think that was louder. I might not have been louder than the Hoskins homer, but that was when I remember it more than I remember anything else because I blacked out during everything. But I can remember. I remember like it was like the crowd noise, the when the ball was traveling. I could like reach out and touch it.
I mean, that was the first. It was the first like RBI in like 11 years in the stadium in the playoffs.
like I remember the sound, like it felt like you could go out and reach and touch it was incredible. I don't remember the Hoskins homer, the Harper. I remember the JT. I was at the JT inside the Parker as well because I almost fell down the stairs. And then I was at the Harper Bedlam at the bank. Don't remember it all. Lucky enough to get a video so I can hear my voice, and it is hilarious. So we've had some pretty good moments. I was at the stare down as well, the Schwarber leadoff homer in the CS. So we've gotten pretty lucky.
Yeah, you've been at some good ones.
Yeah, we've gotten pretty lucky. So anyway, let's look back at this season. Stop because I could talk about the playoffs the last 2 years all day. But let's look at the Rojas versus Pache situation. So Rojas this spring is hitting 167, 184, 455. There was a long stretch where his batting average was the same as his on-base percentage. Pache is 226, 294, 746. Not the best, but Rojas has looked really bad, where Pache has looked fair. Who should start in center field in 2023? Or 24? Who starts in center? Who starts in Lehigh?
I'm going to say Johan Rojas because you don't need great offensive production out of your 9-hole. And I get it. I get that people want it, and that is completely fair. But the average batting average of the 9-hole in baseball is like 210. Like here is what I've been saying. If your offense is relying on Johan Rojas in the 9-hole, your offense is not good. Like something happened. So like if the Phillies really need to get to a point where they're relying on Rojas to hit 300 in the 9-hole or 270 in the 9-hole, like something went really wrong. Whether somebody got hurt, something happened, or it's just an absolute just tank going downhill. I get it. Rojas has looked really bad. He's looked really bad this spring. But I'll say with that, I think the chase is down. I think he's hitting the ball harder when he hits it. I think what they wanted him to work on is getting better. He's not maybe putting the numbers up right now, but I think after that season, they asked him to work on like a few things. They asked him to work on bunting. He's been working on that all spring. They asked him to work on hitting the ball harder. He's been doing that this spring. He's had a few really good exit velocities. And they've been asking him to not chase as much. He's not striking out as much. I just think right now, I think his defense is too good to put him down in AAA. Do I think there's absolutely no risk with putting him in AAA though? Like if they roll Martian left and then Pache in center, that's fine. Like that, I am cool with either way. Like I think either way they're in good shape because I think either way they have a really good 9-hole. That's probably a top 5 9-hole in the league, probably higher than that. So if I had to guess, I think it's going to be Rojas. I think they love Rojas, as they should. I mean, his kid's defense is unbelievable. And I know that people have been in this state of where they're saying their defenses aren't that far off. They're a little farther off than people think. Like Pache's good. Rojas is like next level.
Ridiculous.
I mean, he broke. He would have, if he played a full season, he would have broke like every like defensive metric stat, like literally like broke the stat. So I think Rojas has to be out there. My prediction is for it to be Rojas. I think Marsh is in left opening day, and I think it's Rojas in center. I'm not going to be mad either way. The thing that I need them to do is I need them to not get caught up on having a left-handed bat. They can't. I can't see a world where they look at Jake Cave and Christian Pache and say, I want to keep Jake Cave over Christian Pache. Pache is like 6 years younger. His defense is way better. Honestly, he has the chance to be a better hitter. Like, I get it. Cave's stats this spring, that's cool. Jake Cave had like the highest batting average on the team last spring too. And then look what happened. My biggest thing is I want it to be Rojas opening day. If that comes with them having to like DFA Pache, then I need it to be Pache, because I can't have them just DFAing this kid and just letting him go, because I think he's too good to get DFA'd. And I think there's 29 teams in the league. One of them is going to take a chance on him.
Yeah, I agree with that. My thing with Rojas, he is 23 years old, which is absurd. He's so good at 23 years old. It's like, it's kind of unbelievable. I don't want him to possibly rot in the MLB and be unable to hit. I mean, he is going against his first three are Strider, Fried, Sale. Like, that's a tough first three. It's hard to take much away from these first three games because they're going against some nasty guys. If we don't know what we're going to get from Chris Sale, but it's probably going to be good because that's what happens when guys go to the Braves.
Yeah.
If he continues to hit bad, I just don't want to take the risk of having him rot in the majors and ruin his youth. I would have him down in Lehigh for a little bit, if not the whole year. We'll see what happens with Pache, and just let him hit. Just let him get better at what he needs to get better at. Because you mentioned his chase. His batting average and on-base percentage were the same through, I think, up until last week. He didn't walk once the first month of spring training. That's kind of an eye-opener. So if I'm I am starting Pache, or I was going to throw this out as well, but I'm starting with Rojas downstairs in Lehigh Valley, just so he doesn't rot and risk anything. But if the Phillies roll with Pache or whatever in the majors, what are your thoughts on Whit Merrifield, who is also having a great spring, starting in the outfield?
Yeah, so my thought there is, and I've kind of been, when I say opening day, it's hard because I'm thinking more really realistically opening day roster. I think there's a chance Merrifield could be out there on opening day. Strictly because, one, we all know Marsh hits way better against righties than he does lefties. Obviously Thursday they have a righty out there in Strider. Whit Merrifield also it's preferably better against righties. It's not that much of a difference, but it definitely is better against righties. I see a world where maybe opening day it could be Merrifield, Marsh, Castellanos, and then maybe Saturday it could be a Marsh, Rojas, Castellanos because it's back to a lefty. But I mean, Whit's gonna play games. Like they didn't sign him to a like $8.5 million contract just to be a bench piece. Like, he's gonna play maybe 100 games this year. I think they signed him for a reason. Like, they didn't bring him in just to be like a utility, like third option off the bench. Like, they brought him here to be like a guy that maybe is in the lineup like every other day type of thing. Which then I get a little worried because I've been so adamant about them trying to really find like a set lineup this year. And whether that's Rojas, Pache, Merrifield, whoever. I want them to stick to something. I don't want these guys like rotating out of the 4 hole. I want them to find consistency this year. That's kind of been my one thing. I want them to find who they want in the cleanup spot, and I want them to stay there. Everything with Bohm, Castellanos, and JT. I would have JT there. That's just kind of where I've been. But I think Merrifield's going to play more than people think. I think you'll probably get around 100 games out of him this year.
I have always been a fan of Whit Merrifield. The whiz-wit stuff is incredible. I think that would be I'm on board with that. So I wrote this up last night. My opening day roster. This is what I got. This is with Orion Kirkling starting on the IL, which I'm sure he will.
Yes. Yeah.
My rotation is Wheels, Knowles, Ranger, Taiwan Walker, and Christopher Sanchez. I don't think they go out and sign anybody 5 days before the season. That's just not going to happen.
No, that's
bullpen is Alvarado, Hoffman, Dominguez, Soto, Strom, Marte, Ortiz, and Turnbull. I've liked what I've seen from Turnbull as well. And I think he's gonna be like the long guy here, and maybe could develop into something else. We'll see. My starters are JT, Bryce, Stott, Trey, Alec, Casty, Marsh, Pache, Schwarber. Okay. And my bench is Sosa, Stubbs, Merrifield, Cave. I don't like. I've said it. I don't like Rojas on the starting line and starting in the majors to start the season. Maybe we can see him sometime later, but if they are going to have him out there, my leash is about what I had with Bryson Stott in 2022, which is 3-4 weeks. See what he can do, and if not, you got to make a move.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. I think that's kind of how the bullpen will shake out. I mean, you'll have Clemens down in AAA probably. I mean, he's also making a case to be a lefty bat, honestly, over Cave. But
well, I think Cave will get the boot. I think Cave will be DFA'd.
I hope. Because I just don't. I don't see a reason to have him out there other than he's a lefty. But you don't need these lefty righty splits in April. Like you need that in October. You don't need it in April. So I dig that. I don't. There's not much that I would really change. Honestly, I think that's good. No, I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty safe to assume
and they're pretty locked in. Like their roster's pretty locked in. I could
have put that out there in December, and I probably would have been right. I mean,
yeah, and then Marte has options. I believe Marte has one option. So once Kirkering's ready, maybe Ortiz or Marte. Yeah, one of Ortiz or Marte.
I would go with the hot hand at that point. I'm sure I like Ortiz more than Marte because Marte last year gave me nightmares. But we'll see what happens. But something I thought was funny that came out this week is our best friend Brian Snitker, who I didn't hate until he said that he can't even have his wife and kids go to Phillies games. He said, I actually listened to the audio yesterday, and he sounds so Atlanta. I tell my wife, don't wear anything with Braves on it either, because you're a marked person. Inappropriate stuff being said around the children and things like that, and nobody seems to care. Thoughts?
Just shut up, dude. I'm sorry, but yeah, I guess whatever. It's happening. He knows who Philly is. And I get it. I don't think I would want my wife. If I was a coach, I don't want my wife and kid getting screamed at by other fans. But
how do they know? Where is that come? How? Yeah, exactly. How is this dude not affording a box?
Don't tell your Don't tell your wife to go sit up in the 400 section of Citizens Bank Park. I don't know. It's just, and it was also weird because I can't remember the exact quote, but a year ago, he was talking about all how he like
It's
loves
4
the
hours of hell.
atmosphere and he thinks it's cool. Like, and you say that, I don't know, just people just talk to talk.
I think this might have happened this season because last year he was like, "Oh, 4 hours of hell, great atmosphere, whatever." I think this year things got a little more personal. I think the Braves were so good, and the whole Acuna with the bird, whatever that was, I don't really know what was going on with that. Like, I think things got more personal. The Arcia quote, things got much more personal this year than they were last year. Last year, the Phillies were just this cute little team that snuck in, and then all of a sudden, the Phillies are like gonna win the World Series. But I don't care about what Brian Snitker thinks, honestly. But there's always gonna be those few guys that are the jerk offs, and they're gonna go say some not nice things. But also, you gotta blame the Braves. The Braves are the ones putting this family up in section 420. Great to see, by the way, up in 420. It's right behind the home plate, but like putting them up there with the drunk 20-year-olds that are yelling and screaming, "Oh, F you!" But like, how first of all, how are they going to know it's Brian Sticker's family? If they did, they might have been some different things said. And second of all, the Braves family isn't in a box. Like, that's like you can steal one of you can steal Pepsi's box and give it to the Braves for 2 games. Like,
Something, yeah,
Pepsi people are going to be like, all right, we have enough money, we can buy our own seats anyway. So I don't understand where that's coming from. Also, screw Brian Snitker. So
yeah, the loser, whatever.
something that would make you cool and not a loser is getting some FOCO. FOCO, thank you to them for sponsoring. FOCO, real fans need the best gear. That's why FOCO makes legendary gear for the most legendary fans. Click on the link in the description or bio to save 10% off any order. FOCO just came out with some shortles where it's the overalls, but they're shorts. Luke's going to grab something.
How have you not already gotten your FOCO?
Oh, there we go. He's got the FOCO bobblehead right there.
Got the Nola one.
I remember when Scott Kingery hit a walk-off homer in COVID. And Andrew McCutcheon was like, did the breakdancing. I have that bobblehead, and it is the greatest bobblehead ever. I have that. So FOCO makes great stuff. Go get your shortles. They're brand new. I'm not going with the shortles because when I got my overalls, it was game 6 of the NLCS last year. I wore them from game 6. They got killed. I was like, all right, I don't believe in superstition. Maybe we'll wear them for game 7. Not a good play. So someone who loves FOCO is Garrett Stubbs. And people were not thrilled with what Stubbs said on WIP. And honestly, who cares? Because all he said was, if we win the World Series, you'll see a celebration like you've never seen before. People were not particularly pleased with this. How much of a loser do you have to be to care?
Nah, I mean, you like a big time because and it's funny because we pick and choose who we like want to let talk about championships in this city. Like and I get it. Bryce Harper's a better baseball player than Garrett Stubbs. But the amount of times that Bryce Harper has said, "I can't wait to go down Broad Street," and we love that. And then Stubbs talks about it, and it's like, "Oh, fire this dude into this!" Like, it makes me so angry. Like, I don't understand this like fake outrage, and I get it. People just always need something to complain about. But like, the pool thing meant absolutely nothing last year. Sorry, we didn't lose because he talked about their pool. So get that out of your head now. And 2, like, I don't know. It's just like people have started to somehow turn on this dude. Like, it's so weird. Like, people just need to like be different. And I get it. Like, no, I don't get it. I'm not even saying I get it. I don't get it. It's dumb. If you hate Garrett Stubbs, it's dumb. You have no reason to hate the backup catcher on your baseball team. Like, it's just stupid. Like, there's no reason to hate what he said. He didn't say anything wrong because you would talk about that with your friends at the bar about what you guys are going to do when they win. But the second the backup catcher talks about it, it's like fake outrage, cut the dude, send him down to AAA. Like, give me a break. It's so weird.
I mean, I don't think Stubbs is a bad baseball player. I think he can't hit well. He's not a great hitter, but
fine. He's backup catcher. He brings vibes. He plays one day a week. Like
I think he's really good behind the plate. I think his framing is excellent. I think his defense is great.
He's a really good defensive catcher.
Yeah. He just can't hit. But he's a fellow member of the tribe, of course, fellow Jewish guy. So I appreciate him a lot. So good for Stubbs. He also said that he's confirmed Dancing on My Own is returning.
Good.
People also weren't happy about this. Who cares? He said it has become a staple for the guys. I know losing in general sucks, but what we've accomplished the last 2 years shouldn't be just thrown to the side. A lot of positive things that come with that song. Bad song, but it's great in the stadium when everyone's singing it. And I'm, dancing with people I've never met before. And it's awesome. The song has become the team's identity. It's who the team is. It's how we'll remember them. And I don't hate them bringing it back, but also part of me doesn't really care. What do you think?
Once again, people thinking that a song or a comment is the reason that they lose game 6 and 7 at home with Ranger Suarez on, like, it's just another case of people needing something to complain about. The song's great. Not the song really itself. The song's okay. Like it's not like the greatest song ever made. Like it's a good song. But like
it's fair.
They win. Like this is the bet. This is the most fun. These last 2 years are the most fun I've ever had watching the Phillies. Like and like who cares? Like just let them listen to what they want to listen to. They're going to sit there and these guys are going to say, I'm not going to watch the Phillies until they take Dancing on My Own off the playlist.
Then don't watch.
Up, dude. Oh, my
Don't
God.
watch.
Nobody cares. Just don't watch. Like, I don't care if you don't watch. Like, whatever.
Luke Arcaini is just taking to Twitter.
Let them do it. Yeah. You just got me thinking. I had to fire it off now just to get people riled up.
He said, I can't wait for Dancing on My Own to come back. That song should never leave the clubhouse. That one should be fun.
Just get all these people riled up on a Saturday morning. I love it. It's just
stuff.
like it doesn't mean anything. It means nothing to the win or to these wins and losses. But like,
I mean, it might when they got rid of it last year, and then they brought it back and they went on a streak. So I mean,
like there is a reason that this song started off as a song that they listened to here and there and turned into the song that they play immediately after High. They played it before High Hopes in the playoffs. That's
absurd, but yeah,
that's a little absurd. But like, this song means something to like this fan base. Like that, it is turned into the song. Like, do not get rid of it. I am so pro bringing it back. Not even I don't care. I'm like so pro. It has to come back. Like it has to stay until they win a championship. Because
should they play
at the parade? That's the thing.
They come out to play the song singing. I mean, it'd be awesome. And now we're talking about parades again.
They win a World Series at home. The first song that's going to play out of those speakers is Dancing on My Own. Like,
oh my God. No, they're going to play the Pitbull, and then they're going to play.
It has to come back. Sorry. I'm sorry. If you don't think it needs to come back, then whatever. I don't care about your take. It has to come back.
What are your thoughts? Dancing on My Own, should it be played after regular season wins or just postseason wins? Just postseason?
They can do whatever they want with it in the clubhouse. Don't need to hear it during the regular season. Run the Pitbull, run the High Hopes, leave it. Once you get October, roll it, every win.
Yeah, who cares? My problem with not a problem against High Hopes, but a problem with the people that are in the control room. They play High Hopes during the regular season so late. They wait until everyone's out of the ballpark to play. Like we stay
first. I've always said that.
Well, they should play
first, and then or they don't need to play like they play the full Pitbull song. I'm like,
they do. It's the whole 3 minutes.
You don't need to play the full song. Like
when
play 30 seconds of it.
When they play Dancing on My Own is when they should play High Hopes in the regular season. They play 30 seconds with Dancing on My Own, and everyone's like, yeah! They put the fireworks up, awesome, and then it's Dancing on My Own. What they should do for the regular season, they win. Yeah, it's a quick because it's regular season. The wings aren't as huge. And then 30 seconds, High Hopes, everyone stays, everyone sings, and then everyone's out of here. Like, I think that's how it should be, because when they play it, it looks like 2020 in the stadium. There's nobody there.
Yeah, no, it's they need to figure that out. Dancing on My Own needs to come back. Bottom line.
All right, it's coming back. All right, so final topic doesn't just involve the Phillies, but they are involved in the process.
Yeah,
the Phillies and Comcast plan on making the Philadelphia Sports Complex a world-class live workplace sports and entertainment district over the next several years. This is what they drew up, and I'm going to read exactly what the article says. It's a lot, so let me get a drink really quick. All right, here we go. Phase 1 of the development project will involve lots located between Patterson Avenue and the Wells Fargo Center, for which Comcast Spectacor already has development rights. This phase will include a new mid-sized concert venue, hotel, retail shops, and an outdoor plaza, as well as upgrades to Xfinity Live. Phase 1 is expected to be completed in 2020. So that sounds like it's going to start soon. I know they started Xfinity Live, or they're planning on starting it soon. That we knew about. What we didn't know about was phase 2, which will involve additional development around the Wells Fargo Center and will expand north of Patterson Avenue to lots currently controlled by the Phillies from Broad Street to Citizens Bank Park. The concept for this phase envisions another hotel, residential units, more retail, restaurants, office space, and significant green space. It also will include a dedicated Phillies Plaza adjacent to Citizens Bank Park that will provide gathering spaces and immersive experience for fans. The two companies will be partnering to seek approvals and the necessary development rights from City of Philadelphia for phase 2, and will work closely with the local community as plans progress. What are we doing? Like,
It's cool.
It's wonderful. All this is trying to keep the Sixers.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're going to keep him. But I mean, I think it's cool. I think they're starting to realize that, like, with time, you do have to make upgrades. Like, you can't have the same complex stadium type of thing everywhere. I mean, I didn't really, honestly, I was really busy and stuff when this picture came out. This thing's sick. Oh my god.
Yeah, it does look really nice. However,
so cool.
look
Because I saw the renderings of like the Xfinity Live close up, and that was cool.
Yeah, the Xfinity Live, I'm not against. However, I am against, where the hell are we gonna park?
Oh yeah, that.
Like, we think parking is an issue now. Like, opening day parking is gonna be bad. Like, that's always a problem. However, I think I see one parking lot next to the Wells Fargo Center, which is there already, which is like where the VIP parking is at the Wells Fargo Center. Like, it's gonna be, maybe there's two, one next to the Xfinity Live, but there's nothing near Citizens Bank Park. How much do you think rent is gonna be in these apartments?
Oh man, a lot.
Forget it. Like, I wouldn't even want, like,
it's gonna be a high one.
Yeah, and where is this money coming from? And
It's me.
where are we gonna tailgate?
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna cut everything out. I mean, I get it. This picture's cool, but like, what this picture, this isn't exactly how it's gonna be. They know that they need park. Like, they can't have one parking lot for 3 stadiums. So this is, and granted, also, you'll probably have parking all in the parts where you can't see in the picture and stuff like that. There's, like, what we see on this picture.
It's not going to be enough, though.
Is awesome, but it's not. It's not going to be exactly like this. It's going to be pretty close, probably, but it's. I don't think we have to worry about tailgating. parking. It's going to be okay. What we do have to worry about is maybe getting in there. It's going to be a bit of a chaotic experience.
I mean, there's two ways to get in there now. You go down the ramp off 95, and you either turn right, like where it's always backed up going to Phillies games, or you turn left and do the loop around past the Wells Fargo and the Link and just go down. I don't know what street that is, but that's what we always do. And then, or you go up the Broad Street exit, and that's always backed up. So it's horrible how it is now. Forget it in whenever this is done. I guess 2028 is the first phase. And what restaurants are going to go there? Like, are we going to get like some good like restaurants, or are we going to get like some high end stuff where you can't even go?
I hope they turn it into something like, a little nicer. Like they put some restaurants down there and some stuff down there, just so like Xfinity Live isn't the only place that you can eat in the whole complex type of thing. I think they're going to I don't think they're going to spend they know the potential this has, and they know the space they have. Like they have potential to make a really cool thing down there. I don't think they're going to mess this one up. I think they're good here.
I honestly don't see Philadelphia being cool with this because it's going to be so expensive. I don't think this happens.
Yeah. I don't know.
Also, where in that article, it said nothing about the Eagles, nothing with Lincoln Financial Field, and the Link is completely out of this rendering. The Eagles are done with the Link in 2032. That's when their lease is up. Are they not a part of this at all? And is the Link leaving, or?
Yeah, I don't, man. I haven't read into this honestly a ton. I think it's something we just kind of got to wait and see. To be completely honest with you, I'm not buying too much stock into this right now. I don't think the Link's going anywhere though. I think we're gonna have everything that we normally have down there. It's just going to be a lot newer. There's going to be more things to do, hopefully more parking lots, something like that. They're pretty cool.
I mean, forget it if you're going to have, 3 events at the same time like you did last year. The NLCS game, you had I think it was a Flyers game or something, and then you got the Mexico, whatever it was, at the Link. I mean, don't even try. This is all promoting also the public transportation. That's what the Sixers are trying to do with their downtown stadium and everything else. All right, so that's all we have. I did see a thing yesterday where on MLB.com the Phillies have they are projected 85 wins.
It's bad.
It's bad. Over under 85.
Over. If they win 95.
95.
Yeah, 95. I think they get off as long as they get off to a hot start. They could get 95 easy. 95's not a terribly difficult number for them to get to as long as they don't start 18 games under 500 like they did last year.
I think that's going to be the key. If they
won 90 games last year and they were like 13 games under at one point. If they just stay, even if they stay 500 for April and May, they'll win 90, 95. They could push 100. I've said if they get off to a hot start, there's no reason they can't finish 96, 97 up in there.
You would love to see that. Thank you. That's going to be it for us. Luke, thank you very much for coming on. It means a lot. Great.
Sir, thanks for having me.
Great show. Where can people find you? And just plug your stuff really quick.
Yeah, it's so it's Arcaini Luke on Twitter, ARCAINILUKE on Twitter. We're doing with the Gambler, Fox Sports The Gambler, Phillies podcast. Luke and I on the Phillies. So really, everything's on Twitter. If you find my Twitter at Arcaini Luke, everything else is linked through there. So you'll be able to find all that stuff from there. 5 days, baby. We're so close. We're almost there.
We are so close. Very exciting stuff. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. If you ever missed the live stream, you can go onto all podcast apps and re-listen to the pod. I'm sure this won't be the last time we have you, Luke. So thank you again.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Spencer, brand new for the lineup.
Yeah.
The change. It looks like Spencer Turnbull's getting the start.
Connor Brogan going to relief for that.
It's interesting. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Go follow us on all social medias. I don't don't even know what. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads. Go follow, subscribe on YouTube. Rate us, I guess. Is that what the rate us on podcast apps? Just go watch and listen. We appreciate
5
it.
stars, subscribe, like, all that jazz.
Go to phillysportsports.com and read the articles. We're so close to opening day. The next time we talk to you, the Phillies will be underway. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Go Phils! See you next time.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's deep. It's gone. And it is gone. Yes. It is bedlam at the bank. One of the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slammed up. And the doctor made a sensational play. In front, the bucket, they score! And Giroux got it. Busted. Fires. Blasted goal! Back again. He's got to be 10 and goes forward.